Engineers and scientists of the European research project R2CITIES have developed and demonstrated a way to make old buildings energetically efficient and economically sustainable. It is an open and easily replicable strategy for designing, constructing, and managing large-scale district renovation on existing buildings. The R2CITIES project, which stands for Residential Renovation Towards Nearly Zero Energy Cities, has selected 3 different districts in Europe to act as a role model for future building solutions. In Spain, more than 40% of the houses were built in the 1960s. The 4 de Marzo district in Valladolid, in the center of the country, has great problems related to loss of heating, indoor discomfort, and very high energy consumption. In Valladolid, R2CITIES focuses on privately owned apartments. 130 homeowners have agreed to participate in the initiative to turn their homes into smarter buildings and improve their energy footprint. In part of these buildings, monitoring systems have been deployed for analyzing comfort and energy consumption during a year.
Ahora lo que tenemos que certificar es que los ahorros que nos hemos comprometido.
We now must certify that the savings we promised are there, are real, that the real savings match what we promised. We're expecting a 40% drop in energy demand through the passive measures implemented in the buildings in Valladolid. This means the citizens will see their energy bills down by around 50%.
Reducción de la factura energética a cada uno de los vecinos de en torno al 50%.
To achieve this, the renovated buildings are equipped with different, easily replicable technologies. Roof and facade insulation, windows substitution, gas boilers upgrading, information and communication technologies, more efficient lighting, and the use of renewable energy systems as solar panels for domestic hot water. This concept has already triggered interest by other residential communities in other parts of the country.
Aparte de los 13 edificios que se han rehabilitado en el barrio,
apart from the 13 buildings that were retrofitted in the district, we can also see other buildings outside the R2CITIES project replicating this solution. So the pilot experience of the project can be copied. There are possibilities both inside the district and in other areas of the cities who will also have the chance to implement it as well. It is important that this scientific knowledge is addressed at a European level. Once we have implemented it here, we will see how to create a business plan which will lead to local economic growth.
On a global level, a big impact on building efficiency is achievable in hot countries. Here the energy usage is primarily determined by air conditioning. R2CITIES has therefore set up additional demo sites in Italy and Turkey as well. In Genoa, Italy, the renovation takes place at a residential complex known as Lavatrici, a social housing estate whose name derives from the impression of a hill stacked with washing machines. About 70% of the 600 apartments belong to municipal corporate bodies, and most of the tenants pay only a small monthly rent.
Il quartiere delle Lavatrici è un quartiere di edilizia residenziale pubblica.
The district of the Lavatrici is a public housing estate. This means the people who are in economic or social difficulties get access to one of the apartments through a waiting list. The tenants pay a lease which is proportional to their income. Therefore, often, this rent is quite low. It amounts to less than €50 a month.
Proporzionale alle loro condizioni economiche. Quindi spesso questo canone è molto basso, è inferiore ai 50
The problem is that on top they also have to pay the expenses, and they can be 3, 4 or 5 times higher than the rent.
3 volte, 4 volte, 5 volte il costo del canone.
The Council of Genoa and R2CITIES Consortium have worked hand in hand to not only reduce the energy bill of the tenants, but also to increase the comfort living. Before the renovation works, the apartments were in a poor condition, which became visible when it started to rain. The rain did not only enter the apartments, the water also weakened the entire structure of the buildings. At the center of the works in Genoa stands a new heating system. It consists of 2 new boilers and a centralized unit that supplies hot water and heating to 162 households. Some of the apartments have also received a new temperature control unit that registers the actual heat consumption. This way, the usage of energy is calculated individually and the tenants only pay what they consume. In addition, new double-glazed windows have been installed, which has improved the indoor climate. These combined retrofitting measures are expected to save 50% of the energy. The third demo site is located in Kartal, a district of Istanbul in Turkey. Here a complex of 3 buildings were lacking external wall insulation and got very hot during the summer and cold during the winter. As one of the measures, the architects have decided to introduce new windows with a unique technological feature.
Burada gördükleriniz bizim
In these windows there is a special gas called argon gas. The glasses outside are huge, that's why we have to put our focus on them. Standing inside, you can feel that the window is cold.
içeriye geldiğiniz zaman camın soğuk olduğunu hissedebilirsiniz. Aynı şeyi dışarıdan alırsak güneşin geldiği noktada camların
Standing outside, one can feel that the windows are quite hot, where the sun shines on them. This means the heat exchange through the windows is minimal thanks to the argon gas. Using a unique frame system and special glass formula, we can further reduce any heat losses to a minimum and maximize the energy efficiency.
ısı kayıplarını minimum hale getiriyoruz. Enerji etkinliğini de maksimum hale getiriyoruz.
But the new windows are just one feature to increase the energy efficiency of the buildings. In order to guide the execution of the set of measures selected by the Energy District retrofitting methodology, the project relies on a system called BIM, Building Information Modeling. This computer program allows the researchers to calculate the expected energy savings by adapting different retrofitting actions, interacting with the implementations and eliminating any risk factors beforehand. This is possible through a modeling approach in 5 dimensions. A 4th dimension calculates the time that the engineers need to spend on each section of the building. And the 5th dimension calculates the costs for each section. With all retrofitting measures in place, researchers expect to increase the energy efficiency of the Turkish demonstration buildings by 63%. The building sector accounts for around 30 to 40% of global energy use and emissions. By implementing deep path policies, Europe's urban areas could reduce their energy consumption by 30% in 2050. R2CITIES smart city solutions will act as a benchmark for future projects, thus showing how to turn smart city ideas into reality.